Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be answering another commonly asked question about the Nintendo Switch. And this is kind of a crossover question in that it covers the Nintendo Switch as well as the Switch Lite. The question I'm going to be covering today is, do the cartridges for the Nintendo Switch also work for the Switch Lite? And vice versa, do the Switch Lite cartridges work for the Nintendo Switch as well? Before I get into that, please be sure to like this video and then also subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out a lot here on the channel, as well as helps people all across the internet be able to get their questions answered a lot easier here on YouTube by seeing this video as well. So let's hop into the question. Can you use Nintendo Switch cartridges on the Switch Lite? And can you use cartridges that you think are for the Switch Lite or you're told for the Switch Lite on the Nintendo Switch? And the simple answer is yes. Yes, you can. The cartridges are identical. They're the same size for the Switch as well as the Switch Lite. Your cartridges on the Switch will just go right up here in the top. It just pops right up and you can pop the cartridges right in. And then also you can download games onto the Switch or the Switch Lite exactly the same as well. So you can play the exact same games on the Switch and on the Switch Lite using the cartridges or the download methods. Now, some of the games for the Nintendo Switch don't play very well on the Switch Lite, and that's simply because it's only portable. If you don't know, the difference between the Switch and the Switch Lite is that the Switch can be connected using the dock to the TV or even using an adapter. A lot of people think, oh cool, I'll just buy the Switch Lite, it's cheaper, and I'll use an adapter. I don't need a Switch dock anyway, and I'll use an adapter to connect it to the TV, and then I'll save myself some money. Since the Switch Lite is about $100 or so cheaper, they're also not as high a demand. So a lot of people think, great, I'll go that route. But it doesn't work. It's quite simply the only Switch that will connect to the TV is the actual Switch, not the Switch Lite. And so since the Switch can work on the TV and the Switch Lite doesn't, some games just really don't work very well on the Switch Lite, simply because you've got a handheld mobile console rather than being able to put it up on a big screen TV. Anything that's multiplayer is going to be difficult to play on a Switch Lite. Anything where you are maybe doing, even if it's online multiplayer, where you're playing a lot of different people, you need to see a lot of different things at once. Being able to see the graphics and see the little minute details on a bigger screen is a lot easier than seeing it on one that's even smaller than the actual Switch. So you can play all the games on the Switch Lite from the Switch. The cartridges are exactly the same. So if you've got a Switch and you purchase a Switch Lite, you can take those cartridges from your Switch, put it in your Switch Lite, those will work fine. But there are some differences and there are some downsides to the Switch Lite. The main one being you cannot connect it to the TV. There's a couple of videos that have gone around here on YouTube. There's a couple of websites that say, oh, sure you can, you just have to do this and you have to do that. And basically what they do is they will use a phone or a camera on the phone, and they will stream from their camera on their phone to a TV, and it kind of works, but not really, because it lags, and so you're going to have that issue. It's not going to be a full screen. The graphics are going to be pretty bad. Honestly, if you are looking to play on the TV, it's worth just spending the extra $100 and getting the Switch that you can play on the TV and play mobilely. I know personally, my family and I, we use the Switch only or almost only on the TV. And that's simply because I have younger children. I leave it docked about 90+% of the time, and then we'll just have it on the TV. They can play their Lego games, they can play whatever racing games or whatever games they want to play, and it's right there on the TV. I don't have to worry about them dropping it, I don't have to worry about them breaking it, and I don't have to worry about it getting scratched or smudged or anything else like that, simply because it's always hooked up to the TV. With the Switch Lite, you don't have that option, so you have to play it mobilely. And another big bonus of the Switch that I personally like is the fact that since it's on the big screen, more than one people can be involved in the show. My kid's current favorite game is Lego Undercover, I think it's called. And it's basically this police detective who's a Lego guy, and he goes around this city. And my kids love it simply because they can steal cars and crash cars, and because he's a police officer, he's not stealing, he's borrowing these people's cars. And then they crash them and they fall apart because they're Legos. And my kids absolutely love it. And so while one is playing on that game, the other one will sit there on the couch and just laugh and have all kinds of fun with them, simply because it is an enjoyable thing for them. They laugh at each other. They say, oh, hey, go here, go do this, whatever. And I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, so they're a really good age to laugh at each other as they play the stupid Lego game. But you can't do that on a Switch Lite. simply because the screen's so small, and they'd have to try and cram it next to each other, and then they'd be upset because they can't see the screen and those sorts of things. So really, it comes down to your personal preference. Since the games are the same on the Switch or on the Switch Lite, is the extra $100 that you'd have to pay, assuming you get both of them in MSRP, is the extra $100 that you'd have to pay worth it to get the Switch? In my opinion, the answer is yes. The Switch really is just that much better of a console than the Switch Lite. If you only play on the go, maybe you only play when you're out, going on a trip or a vacation, or you're buying it for a grandchild or a child, something like that, it's possible that it's worthwhile. But in most cases, the extra $100, in my opinion, is still worth it, simply to have the capability of being able to dock the Switch and then connect it to the TV when they choose to. So hopefully this answered your question about the cartridges. Of course, they work the same, both in the Switch and in the Switch Lite. You can play the same games on both of the different consoles without any issue. And then hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into some of the differences between the Switch and the Switch Lite as well. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out a lot. And then also check out our website, RetroOnly.com. Thanks. Have a great day.